preparing your cannabis and hemp brand for 420 2025, and also what Earth Day can teach us about the cannabis industry. I'm Queen, the Bell Lawyer with Bell Terra Law Firm. So 420 just passed, so I was so happy to see all the wonderful pictures, stories, and videos of everybody celebrating, everybody just having a good time in the name of cannabis. Love to see that. Didn't hear any bad stories, so that is definitely a plus. But I want to stress to the people who are interested in entering the cannabis and hemp industry how you can prepare your brand for 420 2025. Definitely start by trademarking your brand name. And why is that important? Even if you are not really using your brand name right now at this point in time, you still can apply for a trademark with the trademark office. It's called an intent to use application. So I always tell people, if you're going to enter the cannabis industry, you have to be in it to win it, even with hemp. Not only do you have to be in it to win it, you have to be in it for the long haul. All this get rich quick talk and all of that is very misleading. Now, the tagline generational wealth, that is very misleading as well, but it is a reality that can happen in the cannabis and hemp industry. So I do not want anybody to think that you cannot create generational wealth in the cannabis and hemp industry. It is a possibility. It's just that the other possibilities that people are presenting to most of the entrepreneurs who want to enter into this industry, it's just not a reality. Okay, it's just not going to happen, and you're never going to create generational wealth through those pathways and through those portals. So you can definitely start by trademarking your brand name. I always advise people, and this is not legal advice, or I'm just technically educating you all. I always educate people to trademark their actual brand name before they trademark a logo. And why is that? Because logos change. Logos change very frequently. So also, the thing behind logos is logos are inherently based in copyright law. So under United States federal copyright law, whoever creates it owns it. For the most part, people, they are going to graphic designers to get this logo created. Now, a lot of people mistakenly believe that because they've paid for the logo, that they now own that logo. That is not the case. You've essentially paid for a license to use your logo unless there's a copyright assignment agreement that has been signed and is in place that states otherwise, that all of the rights have been assigned and transferred to you. If you did not sign a copyright assignment agreement, you do not own the logo. I do not care what these freelance websites say. No matter what they say in those terms and conditions and agreements on those freelance websites, unless you specifically sign a separate document, which is known as a copyright assignment agreement, you do not own that logo, or you do not own those photos. You do not own that video. You do not own those creative works of art. You just do not own them. So a lot of people, why I don't teach people to trademark their logos first, is because for the most part, a lot of people don't even own the logos that they're trying to give to me to trademark. And so that also becomes an issue as well, because you never want to find yourself in a position to where you have to return to that person and ask them to sign a contract. Once somebody has already done work, once they've already turned something over to you, it's very slim to none that they're going to double back and sign a contract. Also, that starts to get their minds turning as to why do you want this contract to be signed, and that can trigger them coming after you for licensing rights and probably potential royalties. So I don't want anybody to be in that position with the logo, okay? Even if you're not going to a graphic designer, even if it is just like your friend, family member, it does not matter. If you do not have a copyright assignment agreement, a copyright assignment agreement signed, then you do not own that logo. And thus, if you go and try to get a trademark, once your logo blows up, once your brand blows up, that person has every right to come back and demand, say for instance, $1 million from you, or they can tell you if you don't pay up, then you can't use this logo anymore. And so you have to start from scratch. So that is why I stress to people the importance of trademarking their brand name first, not just in the cannabis and hemp industries, but in all of the industries. Always trademark the name first. Remember the What's Love Got to Do with It movie, Tina Turner, reality, because that just did not happen in that movie. She gave Ike everything in a divorce settlement. She said he could have whatever he want. She just wanted to keep the rights to her name because her birth name, her real name was not Tina Turner. Anna Mae Bullock. That was Tina Turner was her stage name. And so she gave everything away in order for her to keep that name, because that's how powerful the intellectual property rights to the name Tina Turner was and still is. She is the queen of rock and roll. I don't care what anybody else says, okay? But that is why you should definitely get your name trademarked first. Also, we have to keep in mind, I tell people this all the time. Yes, we're on the legal side. Yes, this is the industry, but the elements of the so-called game they're still alive and it's still present. So just like it will be in the streets, your name carry weight in this industry. So if your name is not known in the street, nobody want to deal with you. Nobody want to cop with you. You're going to be looked at as a mark. And people know that they can get over on you. And it's like that as well on the so-called legal side. So once people know that you're actually serious about your intellectual property rights, you have your trademark, you have everything that you need solidified from your business aspect to your intellectual property aspect, then when you start to do business, you're going to notice that your demeanor is actually very different, because you know that you have a solid legal foundation to fall back on if something happens to you in this industry. So you know if somebody pops up and there's a competitor, there's a copycat, they're trying to come after you, and you have this registered trademark, you know that you're going to be able to go against them and potentially win your trademark infringement lawsuit. Now, I'm not going to get very deep in depth into the trademark infringement lawsuit, but I do want to touch on this very briefly. It doesn't stop once you get a registered trademark. So a lot of people, because these DIY filing services and all of that, they are extremely misleading, y'all. So it does not stop once you get a registered trademark. You have to be extremely aggressive in monitoring and protecting your trademark against infringement. And trademark infringement litigation, if it even has to get to that point, is expensive. But that is the cost of doing business. That's what comes with it. And that is not taught to entrepreneurs. These filing services are not telling people this. So it becomes a real issue once they have initially gone to one of these filing services, or they've done their own trademark DIY, and they did get a registration. Then they pop up and they see that there's an actual copycat. Then that is when there is an issue when it comes to the reality of the cost of trademark infringement litigation. Okay, so definitely have to keep that in mind. Trademark infringement happens all the time in the cannabis and hemp spaces. This is my own personal opinion from my observation, but the most blatant trademark infringement that I have ever seen in my life has been in the cannabis and hemp industry. So this is a reality that you all will encounter. This is what it is in the cannabis industry. So definitely wanted to let you all know to make sure that you are properly protected once 4/20/25 rolls around, because I don't want you all to, pretty much if you're watching this video, you consume cannabis or you're a cannabis adjacent in some way, shape, form, of fashion. So I don't want you all to be in a position to where you're solely just a consumer for next 4/20. I want you all to be able to be in a position to where you can have those sales. You can have those promotions. You're going to be able to host those events. People are going to notice your tent. People are going to notice your vending booth when you go to these 4/20 events. I want you all to really honestly be in that position, okay? So we're definitely going to segue into the importance of the intersectionality of Earth Day, because today is Earth Day, so y'all know this is my day. If you know me, you know why everything about the earth is extremely special and near and dear to my heart, because that is what I identify as, and it is what it is when it comes to that. But the intersectionality of Earth Day and the cannabis industry. Okay, so Earth Day is all about, one, the beauty of the earth, and two, the preservation of the earth. Okay, so we for today we see a lot of people talking about recycling, talking about the reduction of plastics, the reduction of pollution, helping to heal the ozone layer, and everything that's just going on with just people and corporations just flat out trying to obliterate the planet Earth. But what they do not know and what they do not understand, okay, because I'm about to get to preaching on here, there's absolutely nothing that you can do to the planet Earth, no matter how bad it is, okay? Even the situation that happened in Hiroshima, because I'll get flagged if I say those two words. So even the situation that happened in Hiroshima, that did not get rid of the earth. So even if that was to happen again, no matter what they say, it is not going to, that is not going to kill the earth. There's nothing you can do to kill the earth. But just because there's nothing that you can do to kill the earth, that does not mean that you still should do those things, okay? Because we still have people like myself who are living, breathing human beings who have to reside on this planet. And I want my descendants to reside on this planet as well. And how the cannabis industry can help that, a lot of the cannabis products are just plagued with plastics, okay? So plastics are a serious issue that is not even up for debate anymore. Everybody knows about that. But we have to be mindful with our product packaging. I know sustainability is kind of like a buzzword, but definitely be mindful of the type of packaging that you are using, the waste that may come along with your products. Also, we have hemp plastics there. So I know people talk about hemp this, hemp that. I've tried to stress as well that hemp is not cheap to get into the hemp industry. So it is not cheap to sit down in a lab, do research and development, do trial and error, do all of this to create hemp plastics, to create hemp products that can replace plastics, okay? Or replace maybe other damaging packaging products that we have. So that's not an easy feat as well, but it can happen. And yes, it can become a reality to where eventually we're not dealing with the level of harmful plastic waste that we see now, okay? A lot of these grow sites and processing facilities, they do have waste runoff, So that is a reality as well. They are contributing to the carbon footprint. I mean, technically, just by us living and breathing, we all, contribute to the carbon footprint, but it's a way that you can help mitigate that as well, especially if you have a grow site, especially if you have a large scale production facility. You do not want to be in that predicament to where you're contributing to the harm of the earth, willful contribution to the harm of the earth. So I definitely just wanted to touch on that because today is Earth Day as well. Just definitely be mindful about the type of products that you all are producing. So, like I said before, y'all, don't let 4/20/25 roll around and you're still a consumer. Okay, if you know that you want to get in this industry, like I said, it's an investment. You have to be in it to win it, and you have to be in it for the long haul, but it is a possibility. The generational wealth tagline, a lot of the stuff out there that people are saying is never going to happen the way that they're telling you that it's going to happen, but it can happen if slow and steady wins the race. So y'all always know, if you're watching the replay, comment below. I comment back. Yes, that is me responding to your comments. As I always say, this is not legal advice, educational advice. Always, I'm Queen, the Veiled Lawyer with Beltair Law Firm. Happy Earth Day.